Are you tired of struggling to learn your target language? Do you feel lost in a sea of vocabulary and grammar rules? Alright, don't worry. This video is an introductory video of a series of videos called Language Learning Strategies. I'm going to use these videos to help you unlock language learning strategies that can help you to achieve fluency in your target language. It doesn't matter what language you're learning, you can use these strategies to achieve fluency, to really speak fluently and confidently in your target language. If today is your first time, I'm Isaac, and this is English Fluency Stars. Without much ado, let's dive into it. As you can see on the board, language learning strategies, okay? You see, language learning is a journey, right? It's a journey where you start from somewhere and you aim to get to somewhere, right? And just like any journey, there are challenges along the way. There are obstacles that come with the journey, right? Now, when you begin to embark on this journey, you got to be ready to face these challenges, right? You see, anybody can have the desire, the interest to learn a particular language, right? But those who succeed eventually in really picking up the language and learning it, the successful language learners are those who are able to go through these challenges and therefore reach the destination of fluency. You see, most language learners start the journey without having enough knowledge and information about language learning. Like, to be more specific, they have no enough strategies that can help them to what navigate the path that they are embarking on. You understand what I mean? So I am shooting this video to help you to have a better understanding of what language learning is about and the strategies you can use to, face the challenges that you go through as you embark on this learning journey. You see, when you decide to learn a language, you're going to go through 6 main challenges. These are the challenges that the language presents to any person at all who wants to learn a language, right? Now, your ability to face this challenge and go through them will determine your success in that particular language. So first of all, what are the challenges? Let's see what these challenges are. And later, we will look at the strategies we can use to solve or to face these challenges. The first challenge that your target language represents in front of you as you embark on the journey is cognitive challenge. The second one is memory challenge, okay? Challenge. The third challenge is right? The third one is insufficient knowledge challenge. The fourth one is plan of action challenge. The fifth one is social challenge. And the last one is emotional challenge. All right. Now, these are the 6 main challenges that any language that you decide to learn will present before you as you embark on the language learning journey, right? When we talk about cognitive challenge, what does it mean? You see, cognitive challenge is a challenge that has to do with your ability to think about and analyze the inputs of your target language. You see, when you start learning your target language, you need inputs like vocabulary, expressions, the accent of the language, pronunciation, intonation, stress. Your mind is juggling with so many balls at the same time, trying to make sense out of it. That is, your mind is playing with so many other variables at the same time and it's trying to make sense out of it, right? Sometimes you get frustrated if you have no idea how to go around all these variables, right? So this is a challenge that the language presents before you when you start the language learning journey. And that is what? The cognitive challenge. Now, the memory challenge, right? It's about obtaining, retaining, remembering, and using the inputs like, like vocabulary, expressions, the accent, right? The pronunciation, how to obtain, retain, and use these, inputs from your target language. And you know that it's a big challenge for language learners. You see, as a teacher and a language learner myself, I know how big a challenge this particular challenge is, right? You're trying to, memorize vocabulary, you're trying to remember it, and it's so difficult. Sometimes you will memorize vocabulary, but when you are speaking, you cannot remember them. That means you cannot use them, right? So this is what memory challenge is about, right? Obtaining, retaining, remembering, and using the vocabulary and other inputs of the language. Insufficient knowledge challenge is about not having enough knowledge or input of your target language. When you start learning your target language, you have some information, you have some input, vocabulary, right? But they are not enough for you to express yourself adequately, right? So that knowledge gap, right, is there. So it's like you are here, you have a certain amount of vocabulary or inputs, but they are not enough for you to really express yourself, to have a fluent conversation with the other people. You see, that gap is the insufficient knowledge gap. And I know that so many language learners go through this process. It's like they want to say something, but they lack the vocabulary to say it, right? They want to express themselves in certain ways, but they lack enough vocabulary and input to do that expression. That is the insufficient knowledge challenge. Basically, plan of action challenge is about how to plan your language learning activities. It's about setting goals, right? Making a plan and incorporating activities or tasks into the plan. If you don't know how to set a goal, if you don't make a plan for your language learning, you're not gonna go far. And this is a challenge for most people who don't know how to set a goal, who don't know how to, make a proper language learning planning. So if you don't know how to do that, it becomes a huge challenge for you as you go through the language learning journey. You see, language learning is not an isolated discipline. It is not. It is a social discipline, meaning you need people to learn a language. You cannot isolate yourself and say, I'm going to learn this language by myself on my own. That is not possible. You can decide to study on your own, right? You can decide to do certain things on your own. But at the end of the day, you need interaction with other people. You need to mingle with other people in order to acquire the language. So this becomes a challenge if you don't know how to, learn with other people. If you don't know how to interact and collaborate with other people to learn your target language, it becomes a challenge, and it is a challenge for language learners. So take note of that. Last but not least, emotional challenge. You see, this challenge has to do with your emotions and feelings, right? You see, when you start to learn a language, there are so many things you're trying to understand at the same time. And this may lead to frustrations, anger, and embarrassment, and so many things, right? It's a challenge because you're thinking about something that is totally new to you and you're trying to make a sense out of it. You're trying to figure it out. Sometimes you get frustrated. Sometimes you're thinking about what somebody might say about what you're doing. Sometimes you are afraid of making mistakes, right? All these are feelings and emotions that are associated with the language that you're trying to learn. And it is a challenge because some people, they get fed up and they give up, right? Because they are not able to face, successfully the emotional challenge of language learning. So this is a huge challenge and we need to address it. Now, probably you might be thinking, yeah, Isaac, we get it. It is good to know there are challenges along the path of language learning, but what can we do about it? All right, I get it. Don't worry. The good news is there are a set of strategies that we can use to overcome these challenges on the path of language learning. Like truly, there are a set of strategies that we can use to face these, challenges that we encounter right during our language learning journey. Now, the first one is cognitive strategies. Cognitive strategies. The third one is compensation strategies. The fourth one is plan of action strategies. The fifth is social strategies. And the last one is emotional strategies. All right. Now, these are the 6 main strategies that we can use to overcome the challenges that lie along the path of our target language. Now, you see, each strategy is meant for each challenge, right? Like cognitive strategies is to help us overcome cognitive challenge, right? Memory strategies help us to overcome memory challenge and so on and so forth, okay? So when we say cognitive strategies, what are they? These are a set of strategies, set of individual strategies that we can use to think about and analyze the inputs of our target language, right? Thinking about the inputs like the vocabulary, the accent, pronunciation, expressions, whatever, how to think about it and analyze it in a way that will make sense to you. These strategies will help you do that. Memory strategies will help you to obtain, retain, remember, and use vocabulary effectively. Basically, it's about memorization and other techniques that are related to what? Obtaining inputs and using them. Okay? Now, compensation strategies are the strategies that will help you to overcome the challenge of insufficient knowledge gap. You remember that, right? The challenge that you don't have enough information to express yourself. Compensation strategies will help you to be able to express yourself even if you don't have enough, information, even if you don't have enough vocabulary. Compensation strategies will give you certain techniques to use to be able to express your idea and your opinions in a way that will make sense to a native speaker or any other person you are speaking with. Is that correct? A plan of action strategies, as you can see, it helps you to set a goal for your target language. Make a plan and include important and relevant activities within the plan that will help you to achieve fluency. Basically, social strategies will help you to collaborate and interact with other people. It'll help you to learn with other people, right? It'll give you the tools and the strategies, the techniques that you need to be able to to learn and interact with other people so that your language learning becomes a success. Now, the emotional strategies will help you to cope with your emotions, with your feelings. It'll help you to deal with your feelings as you go through the roller coaster of language learning and the emotions that come with it. You see, some people are not confident. Some people are afraid to make mistakes. Some people, they're afraid of criticism and embarrassment, right? These strategies will help you to cope with all these emotional challenges, right? And that is what emotional strategies are all about. All right. In conclusion, we've been talking about language learning and we've talked about the challenges we encounter, right? The 6 main challenges we encounter as we embark on the language learning journey. And we've also talked about the 6 main strategies, set of strategies that we can use to overcome or face these challenges along the path of language learning. Now, like I said in the beginning, this is only an introductory video. In the next video, we'll be looking at the individual strategies, right? The first one will be the cognitive strategies. We'll be looking at the individual strategies within the cognitive strategies that can help us to think about the language input, to analyze the language input of our target language so that we can be effective and a successful language learner, so that you can speak your target language fluently. So I want you to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and hit the notification bell so that you receive every video I ever release. And you know what? If you know somebody that this video can help, do share the video with a person. You know what? I have a story. See this book? I have a story to tell about this notebook, right? And if you are interested in hearing the story about this notebook, subscribe, okay? And hit the notification bell, like the video, and see me next week. I will talk about this notebook. A very interesting story. So thank you for watching and see you. Bye-bye.